How you doing, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Abarca. This is season 2. Welcome back. I'm happy to be back. I took a little break. Now I'm back for even a better season with a new podcast team. Shout out to Jersey Media. Shout out to my guy Joe. We got new guests coming up this new episode as well. And in the season, trending topics. I missed you guys. I missed being on camera. I took a nice, very long vacation on Hawaii, and now I'm back. I'm ready to go, focus on my job a little bit. And I just missed the camera, to be honest. I missed educating you guys. Today, I want to focus on a topic that one of my good friends and followers on Instagram asked me about. What's the process of becoming a personal trainer? And on top of that, I wanted to speak about the psychology of training. I spoke about this season 1, and I wanted to put more depth into it. It was very popular. So this is like a part 2. So the process of becoming a personal trainer and the psychology of training. All right. So the top certifications, or the most popular, and this is not in order. This is the ISSA, International Sports Sciences Association, NCSF, National Council on Strength and Fitness, ACE, American Council on Exercise, NASM, National Academy of Sports Medicine, ACSM, American College of Sports Medicine, NSCA, National Strength and Conditioning Association. Now, I like to stress this is not in order. I'll give you my preference later on. Exams of each are a little bit harder than others. Okay? The one that doesn't teach you, the one thing that it doesn't teach, the thing that each certification that does not teach is how to train. Okay? So any certification that you choose, and I've experienced this as well. I've had a certification. Now I have a degree in exercise science, and I use that to train and have my own business. I never knew how to train people, like actually train. So like the body language, the phone, the texting, the calling during sessions, the positivity, enforcement, always asking questions. These type of things, in a trainer's perspective, are not really taught during the certifications. In the certifications, they actually just go into detail with the biology, the science, why you do things, etc. But the actual in-person interaction with clients, they do not go into depth with. That's a common mistake that maybe certification should kind of start implementing. I only learned these things through experience. I've been doing this for 10 years. So after a few years, I kind of just caught up on what really works, what doesn't, what's professional, what's not professional. Okay. Not many people can do certified personal training. Not many people can open up a business as a trainer. It's physically and mentally exhausting. That's one thing you have to know before, if you can handle the mental and the physical side, approach it, go for it. If not, I wouldn't even recommend going for it. It's a career, not really much of a job. Okay. First question that I had on my with my client with this topic is what to expect as your first income. Okay. I would say $15 to $30 at a gym is guaranteed. Okay, it might fluctuate. It might be a little bit more, a little bit less, depending on the entry level of your certification, entry level of the position. If you're a master trainer, you might be 30, 35, or even 40. It might range from half hour to an hour. My recommendation is starting alone. Okay. However, the difference is if you start alone, you make your own prices. It may be around $50, it may be even more. But the thing is, and the difference between start working at a gym and approaching it by yourself is that you have no leverage or no guarantee on clients. When you're at a gym, you don't have as much stress on hunting on clients. The gyms usually, not all, but usually give you the clientele and you work through there. they give you an incentive of whether if you sign up a gym member at, for training, they give you commission, and that could be a nice little motivation incentive for you to actually make some more money. However, not all gyms do that, so it's not guaranteed, okay? After 10 years in the fitness realm, I can charge around 100 per session. Why? Because I have experience to back it up. I have 10 years. I have years of transformation photos, years of progress pics, years of knowledge, years of instructing people, educational videos, etc. At first, you have to accept the quantity of clients just to build a community if you're looking to start your business. And during that time, you have to be prepared to work for free. During those times, working at a gym or by yourself, you have to tell clients, hey, listen, I'll give you a free session. I'll give you 3 free sessions. You need to give them a taste, a sample of what you're willing to offer, and then use that as a sales pitch to kind of say, hey, listen, we did X, Y, and Z. You increase mobility, strength, etc., whatever your specialty is in. And if we have a program of a month, 2 months, or 3 months, 6 months, or a year, then, you will see X, Y, and Z results. You have to prove, because you have no leverage, you have no experience, you have no, no progress pictures, you have no history to say, hey, listen, this is what I can offer. There's proof of X, Y, and Z. Here's my price, etc. My suggestion is work at a gym first. Build that network, build that brand that you're, thriving for. You have to have that community following you when you're opening up the business. Because if you open up a business and you have no crowd, no audience that's following you and signing up, it's going to be extremely hard, and you're going to have to actually double down on your advertisement, your marketing on social media, in person, references, etc. It's going to be extremely tough. However, if you start at a gym, you have a community, you have people that already see that you can train, then they say, oh, Brian opened up his gym, I'm going to follow him because X, Y, and Z. He actually knows how to train, etc. Once you know people, you can leave, and now you have a community that follows you in social media or in person. All right. Where should you apply and why? You apply online. My personal preference, top 3 is Nesta, NASM, or ACSM. Or you could go to school, the route that I chose. Why? Because I use this as a sales pitch. For example, my example would always be, no one wants to hire a certified surgeon. They would want a surgeon that actually went to school and has a degree in this. And I apply that to personal training. Any trainer could have a certification, let's say, but not many people actually did the investment of going to school for 4 years, or going to school and getting their master's, getting their exercise science, exercise physiology degree, and then actually implement it to a business. Not many people do that. They get the certification, and it is honestly the easiest route, because let's say my mother, not stepping into a gym ever in her life, she could get lucky, study for a test, get certified online, and then guess what? She could apply to any gym and she could get hired, and she has no experience. Would you want to hire my mom, who's never stepped in a gym, or someone who's experienced, went to school for this, etc.? So it's just those two things. That's the approach I went through. Was it on purpose? No, I was actually kind of going towards the route of physical therapy. However, I was blessed to kind of just stumble on this route, and now I open up my business. But yes, always be aware of the options. You always want to have options. Okay. The difference in different certifications. Some gyms may not accept specific certifications. Some are, let's say, too cheap, or some are not as respectable. I remember when I was hired in my first job at a gym, they didn't accept most certifications. And luckily, I had an associate's degree at the time in exercise science. So that being said, they accepted that because I actually went to school for it. I knew some certifications that were not accepted, and I had some friends that was negated or rejected through the job from the gym. Okay. Psychology of training, part 2. So, with the psychology of training, I had an amazing segment about psychology in season 1, and I like to dig deeper in it. Okay. First point is each body is different. A program online, okay, may not work for all people. Or a program from someone or a trainer may not work for all people. For example, if person A is trying to look like their trainer and it's a general program, okay, that's given out, she copied it from an online source, Instagram, etc., he or she needs to accept that she is not going to look like the trainer. He is not going to look like the trainer. Everybody's anatomy is different. Everybody's bone structure is different. So if someone has wider hips, you're not going to have wider hips. Wider hips is bone structure, is anatomy. Okay. So that person needs to accept that. The program might work, okay, but you might physically, aesthetically not look like the person that you are thriving to look for. You might, but you might not. Okay. It's 50-50. Training makes you feel good. It releases the feel-good hormones, aka dopamine. Yet others look for other things to feel good, like let's say alcohol, drugs, food, etc. You have to make sure you understand that it's not only to make you look good or feel good, but it's a necessity. It's for health. Okay, you might be training very often. Okay, and it might be, an activity once or twice a week, but you need to understand that it needs to become a routine. Don't think of it as a chore. Okay, it's like brushing your teeth. Not many people like to brush their teeth every day, but at the end of the day, you have to. It's a routine. Everybody brushes their teeth. Nobody is going to leave their house without brushing their teeth. Okay, you need to apply that into fitness. You need to hit the gym. You may not like hitting the gym, but you need to apply it to your daily routine. Okay. You just have to do it. As a trainer, you become a mentor, a friend, a psychologist, and sometimes even a role model. Okay. I get to know people in depth, than my family and friends, because I see these people 2, 3, 4 times a week. Why? You witness them in their most vulnerable states, mentally and physically. And then on top of that, you see them multiple times a week. You end up having some type of connection with them. They might be clients in the beginning, and they end up becoming friends, to be honest. It's almost like a coworker. You're always there with them 9 times out of 10 throughout the week. You end up becoming closer to them compared to family. And that being said, how does this tie into psychology? If you have a mentor, you have a friend, you have a role model, you have a AKA psychologist, you're going to be open to sharing personal things with them. Okay. Like, for example, relationships, for example, family issues, for example, past history, even medical history, etc. I have this inside joke with some clients where they bring up, let's say, their exes, right? So I end up kind of almost using their stories of, let's say, their exes, and I bring them up during training sessions right before they're about to do, like, let's say, on 1 rep max, or they're about to lift something heavy. And it almost kind of like triggers them mentally, and they almost get this extra strength or power right before their lift. So sometimes I only have to yell out, "Hey, little Jimmy, little Rebecca," and they just get this extra power to get through their set, which is actually hilarious. So yeah. And on top of that, just to finish off this episode, guys, anyone interested in becoming a trainer, after learning these certifications, the process, my progression, and my journey into becoming a trainer, I'm gonna be starting a mentorship or an internship program for an individual. You could DM me, email me, text me. I'll bring up I'll post my information up in this episode. If you're really learning how to train, again, you could have a certification, but do you really know how to train someone? It's very, very important, and most certifications, if not all, do not really go over that. Okay, so I just like to toast. This is season 1. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I love you all. Take care.